Hey, you old hag. Where's my money? Just how long are you going to try and keep me waiting before you cough up what's mine? Huh? Don't you know that you're supposed to give me my allowance today? I thought I told you that I wanted you to pay me on time every single day. Or is that too hard to figure out for a stupid woman like you?
Ginny, I believe that you and I have already talked about your allowance. I told you that last month was going to be the last time that I gave you any money, remember? I told you that because you were starting college that you would be on your own, remember? I explained to you that the allowance would end when you finished high school. We talked about this and you said that you understood what I was saying.
What on earth are you talking about? I never, ever remember talking about anything like that at all. You were just delusional and trying to cheat me out of what's rightfully mine. But now I just need you to shut up and pay me. I'm sick of waiting, and I'm even more sick of talking to you.
Look, I have told you that I am not going to be paying you anything anymore, okay? Well, why can't you go and ask your father for these kinds of things?
I knew it. I knew there was no point in trying to talk to a fake mother like you. You know, I never even wanted you to marry my dad, right? I was fine when it was just the two of us. You always ruin everything. If you knew what was good for you, you would just shut up and pay me. There's no need to make things this complicated.
I'm sorry, Ginny, but if that is the way that you were going to ask for money from me, then I feel even less inclined to pay you than before.
Well, it's all your fault that my dad doesn't have any money. I know that you've been using up every last cent of his. He told me all about it. He explained to me how you handle the budget for the house, and that means that you control all of the money. But all I heard when he was telling me that is that you're taking my dad's hard-earned money and using it all for yourself. It's so sad. I can't believe that my dad has been tricked like this. I just wish he would leave you already.
You know, sometimes I think about leaving too. But the thing is that isn't a decision that you'll get to make for anyone. That is going to be something that your dad and I talk about and come to a decision on amongst ourselves. But let me make this very clear to you. I am not stealing money or holding your father financially hostage in any way, shape, or form. Okay? I think you might want to go ask your dad about what's really going on one more time.
You really have got some nerve, do you know that? Just what makes you think that I want to hear what some old hag like you has to tell me? Anyways, I think I've made myself clear here. Just get the money ready and send it to me as soon as possible, okay?
No, it's not okay at all. If you really need money that badly, go and find a job. Daniel, I have seriously had it. I mean it. I am really at my limit right now. I mean, just how long are you going to let Ginny act the way that she does? She is seriously so unbelievable sometimes. Do you know that she thinks that I'm taking all of your money and spending it on myself? This is seriously getting ridiculous.
Aw, come on. She's not that bad. You're just being overdramatic. Besides, you know how girls her age are. But you're the adult. You should just know how to take it and let things slide, right? Surely that isn't too much to ask of you.
Daniel, I am serious. I have half a mind to leave you both. And if nothing happens to change the situation, then I just really might. I mean, just a few minutes ago, she was asking me again about her allowance. But I told her that when she started college, that I wasn't going to be giving her any money at all. I told her that if she wanted someone to give her money, she would either have to get a job and get paid by her boss or go and talk to you.
Laura, please. Don't you think you're just being a little bit stingy? You really need to learn to just let things slide. And quit getting so upset over everything. I mean, you do know that if you get upset like that you're only going to give yourself more wrinkles, don't you?
Wow. Well, thank you so much for caring about the state of my face. I'm so glad to know that I have people who listen to what I have to say around here. But I have to say that in the 10 years that we've been married, I feel like I've aged at least 30 years. And I think it's high time I try and make up for all the time I've lost dealing with you and Ginny. So you can pack up your bags and just get out right now, Daniel.
Hey, you old hag. What the heck is going on here, huh? You better start explaining things to me right now.
Hello, Ginny. I was wondering when I was going to hear from you. It's been a while since we've last talked, hasn't it? Is there something that I can help you with?
Do you have any idea how pissed I am at you right now? How dare you try and take that attitude with me?
Ginny, I really don't think there is any reason to be talking to me like that, even over text. Now, I have no idea what's got you so upset, but I can guess that this little outburst is going to be followed by you trying to ask me for something.
I know that I only became your daughter when you married my dad, but that still makes me kind of like your real daughter, right?
Wait, what? I have to say that after all that anger and vitriol, I really wasn't expecting you to say something like that.
Well, what I mean is that if you're my mom and I'm your daughter, then you need to pay for my school. If you don't, then I'll talk to my dad and make him divorce you. Is that something you want?
Wait, what? What is going on here?
I just got a letter from my school telling me that my tuition still hasn't been paid. Do you have any idea how embarrassed I was to get that? I went to talk to my dad to ask him why my school wasn't paid for yet, and he told me that you two said that you would pay for it all. So, what I want to know is why you haven't paid my tuition for my program yet, huh? Do you want me to have to drop out or something?
Okay, hold on just a second there. First of all, I never, ever said that I was going to be paying for your tuition. Second of all, just why would I be the person paying for your schooling anyways? I mean, you're still living in that house, right? Just when are you going to move out?
You really have some nerve to talk to your daughter this way. Honestly, I don't think anyone else in the whole world knows how to piss me off quite like you do.
But did you miss the part where I said that I would have my dad divorce you? Because I really will if you're not going to pay for my school.
Unless your whole plan this entire time has been to sabotage my education and make me quit. But I won't let you get away with that. It's just unacceptable, and you need to cough up the money right now.
You really must think the world revolves around you if you think that's any way to get what you want. In fact, reading your messages, I can't help but crack up laughing that you're actually serious about this.
Are you kidding me right now? Is that how unseriously you're taking all of this? You have got to be joking with me right now, right?
No, I'm very serious actually. But anyways, I guess if you're really saying all that, that means you haven't heard anything from your dad, right?
What do you think you're talking about? Didn't you read how I went to my dad and he told me that since you weren't going to pay for my schooling, that it would mean that I'd have to drop out? So that's why you need to cough up the money for my tuition right now. If you don't, then I'm really going to make my dad leave you.
I am not your mom anymore, Ginny.
Wait, what? What are you talking about this time?
Wow, you really don't know about this at all. That's actually incredible. Well then, I guess allow me to be the first person to inform you that your father and I have gotten a divorce. In fact, we've been divorced for quite some time now. So if your dad really did tell you that I was going to be paying for your school, then I'm afraid that he was as sorely mistaken as you are. After all, why in the world would I pay for some girl's school who isn't even a part of my family?
Wait a second. You mean it? You and my dad are really divorced, and you're really not my mom anymore.
Oh man, I really wish that I could see your face right now. But yes, in a nutshell, that is what's going on here. And if I can be honest with you, your father was nothing but lousy trash.
What is that supposed to mean?
I mean that he was using all of his salary to pay off his debt up until recently. But he would also keep taking out loans in the meantime. And anyway, since he was so bad with money and never was good at setting any aside, that's why he can't afford to pay for your school. So I suppose that if you really want to stay in your program, that you'll have to go and earn money yourself. Although I did warn you that you'd have to earlier.
But that can't be right. What do you mean that my dad doesn't have any money? You're really trying to tell me that this is all his fault?
Ginny, you are not a little girl anymore. You're in college. Do you really just go through life not thinking deeply on anything? Have you really not realized that every time you needed money, it was me that was giving it to you? For 10 years, I've taken care of you as my own daughter. And I would financially support you just like a mother would her own daughter. But I guess you never, ever thought of it in that way, did you?
No, it's not like that at all. I always thought that you were paying me with money that my dad was earning.
Well, I'm afraid that the money your dad was earning was all going towards his own debt. Every cent that I gave you came from my own earnings. I took care of everything in the house, kept my job, and made sure that you got the support you needed. And yet you insisted on insulting me, calling me an old woman and treating me as if I was a parasite on your family. But now I guess you realize that the only parasites around here were you and your father. So you can threaten me with divorce all you want, it isn't going to change anything now. Whatever happens next is entirely up to your dad and you.
Well, wait a second. Does that mean that you're just going to abandon me like this? You're really going to just leave me like this all over a little mistake? Don't you get that you're still like a mother figure or something? Doesn't that mean you have to take care of me? A real mother wouldn't just abandon her daughter like this.
Weren't you the one calling me a fake mother anyways? I'm sorry, but it is far too late for you to try and change your tune now.
I don't believe it. I can't believe that you're really just going to walk out of our lives and leave us like this.
Oh, I think it's perfect. Besides, this is something I've wanted to do for a long time, but I knew that it would be best to wait until you finished high school before leaving your dad. But anyways, I thought you would be a little more grateful to me since I paid for all of your college applications. Although you probably didn't even know that I was the one who did that either. Oh, right, that actually reminds me. You should know that you only have until the end of the month to leave the house.
I don't get it. This is all so much at once. Well, what do you mean I'll have to leave the house? I live here. This is my family's house.
I'm afraid you were wrong again. This house was just a rental.
You can't be serious about that, right?
I haven't lied to you about a single thing yet. Why would I lie about this? Anyways, I was also the one paying for our house, but I've already moved out and informed the leasing company that I would like out of my lease. So you basically don't have any choice but to leave. I don't know what you're going to do with your life from here on out, but you're already 18, so you should be able to figure something out.
And I really have to move out by the end of the month? But that's in 3 days?
Oh yeah, I guess it is. Well, I suppose that means you better get packing, huh?
How the heck am I going to move out all of my things in just 3 days? And where the heck am I supposed to go from here?
Oh, that? I've already talked to your dad all about that.
Wait, really? What did you say to him?
Well, I told them that I wanted you both out of the house and that he should look for some place for you both to live.
That doesn't solve any of the problems that I have right now. I am trying to ask where the heck I should even go.
Yeah, that really isn't my problem. But if you're still in the house after 3 days, legally speaking, you would be trespassing. And then I suppose that would mean the police would have to get involved, and I don't think any of us want that, so...
Well, what about my school? They are demanding that I pay my tuition or else I'll have to drop out.
Oh man, it sounds rough.
Oh, come on. Is that really all you have to say to me about this? I thought you were my mother.
We've already talked about that. I am not your mom, and I don't owe you anything. If you want to go ask your father, maybe you can convince him to take out even more money to pay for your school. Otherwise, you'll just have to go into debt to pay for it. Either that, or you can go out and find a job. Because I already told your dad that I was done paying for anything of yours. But anyways, if you're looking for someone to blame for all of your money troubles right now, I would go talk to your dad.
But this can't be. Neither my dad or I have a single cent left, and now we're about to be kicked out. What are we supposed to do, Mom?
Sorry, were you talking to me? Because I don't know where your mom is.
What are you talking about? You've always been my mom. I've always thought of you that way.
Okay, now we both know that is just a lie. But anyways, your father and I are divorced now, which means that you're finally free from me. I thought this is what you wanted. Anyways, this conversation is just going in circles now. Have a nice life, Jenny. Or don't. I don't really care either way. In the end, Jenny and Daniel barely managed to pack up all their things before they had to leave the house and found themselves homeless. The next semester rolled around and, unable to pay, Jenny was forced to drop out. She tried to reach out to me again, begging for money, a house, food, anything. But I told her that she wasn't getting a penny from me. She thought that I was the one stealing all of her father's money, but he was the one who wouldn't have been able to survive without my help. I tried to warn Jenny that she would have to be more self-sufficient, but she just wouldn't listen. So I really just can't bring myself to feel any kind of pity for her. If you ask me, Jenny and her dad got exactly what they deserved. As for me, after my divorce from Daniel, I moved back to live with my parents for a little bit. I explained what I had been through, and they were more than happy to take me in while I found my feet. It really just goes to show you how important being kind is to those who care about you. You never know when you're going to need help. and it's good to have connections with people who care about you. Even if it wasn't my parents, I had plenty of people who I could go to for help because I always approached the issue of asking for it with humility and tact. I can only hope that Ginny learns a similar lesson as she grows up and gets to reflect on her words and actions.
Liar, you disgust me. Get out of my sight. I don't want to see your face anymore.
Huh? What's this suddenly, Vivian? Did something happen? But today's a day to celebrate.
Shut up, liar. Go home. Don't come to my wedding today.
What? Hold on, Vivian. What do you mean, go home? But I just got here with James and his family. Did something happen?
Don't act like you don't know, you fraud. You were lying this whole time, right?
What are you talking about? Just calm down, will you? I won't be able to understand you if you don't tell me what's happened first, daughter.
Stop pretending to be my father. You're not my actual father, right? I heard everything about it.
Well, it's true that I'm only your stepfather, but what do you mean you heard everything about it?
I know why you and Mom got married. You disgust me. To think that you were the kind of scum that would cheat. I don't want you to come to my wedding anymore.
What? What do you mean, cheat? Me? I've never done such a thing in my life.
Don't act dumb with me. You cheated with Mom, right?
What? With Alexandra? What do you mean I cheated with my wife?
While me and my brother were living with our real father, you stole our mom away from Dad. That's when our real parents got divorced and Mom got custody of us and then married you.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Just because our real dad got sick and couldn't work anymore, Mom threw him aside and went with you instead. You two never even paid him an alimony. Disgusting.
Hold on. I have no idea what you're talking about. None of what you're saying is true.
I said don't act dumb with me. I already heard everything.
Who did you hear this from then?
My real dad, of course.
Huh?
My dad, who I'm actually related to by blood. He visited me around 2 months ago. He said he was looking for us all this time because you and Mom basically abducted us from him several years ago.
It's a lie. Don't believe what he says. What he's saying is impossible.
It's not a lie. Dad told me everything about it. And about how Mom cheated on him with you, and how you two abducted us from him, and about how hard life was for him after that. He's been wanting to meet us all this time. To think that you hid all of this up until now and pretended to be our father. You're trash.
Hold on, Vivian. Listen to what I have to say first. First of all, me and your mom didn't meet while she was married. We did nothing shameful like that.
You're still going to make excuses? My real dad told me he's been keeping this quiet because he didn't want to hurt me. But he said he couldn't stand anyone like you ruining my wedding. He told me all this really kindly back there. All you think about is yourself, right?
That's not true. Listen to me, please.
I don't want to listen to a word you say. I'm going to invite my real dad to the wedding, not you. Just leave, will you? I don't want to call a woman that would cheat on my mother anymore. And you're not even related to me in the first place. Not once did I consider you my father.
Oh, I see. Fine. I get it. I'll go home. I don't care what you call me anymore, but I won't forgive you for insulting your mother like that. I won't come to the wedding and go home. That's what you want, right?
I'm cutting ties with you, by the way. Don't show yourself to me ever again.
Hey, Vivian, what are you thinking kicking Dad out like that? He tried to look calm, but he was clearly furious. I mean, I don't blame him for being mad. What do you mean Dad stole Mom from our previous dad? Are you really that dumb to believe such a thing?
You're going to say that as well? Open your eyes. We were being fooled by that fraud all these years.
You're the one who needs to open their eyes. Dad has supported us all these years, even after Mom died 15 years ago. He never even remarried. He did all that for us, even though we weren't his real children. But this random dude comes out of nowhere spreading lies? And you just believe what he says and call Dad a fraud? How ungrateful are you?
He's not lying. He knew things from when we were young. He's our real dad. Of course I'm going to believe him.
I, for one, am going to believe our dad who raised us for 15 years and not some random dude that came out of nowhere.
He probably only raised us because he had some sort of agenda of his own. Like, maybe he wanted us to look after him when he's old. That's the only reason he didn't leave us. He even looked at me sometimes with perverted eyes. It must have something to do with that as well.
You really are trash, huh? Fine, I get it now. I'll take care of Dad when he gets old. You go with this random guy of yours. I'll go with Dad to the station. Hold on, I think I'm going to go home as well. I don't want to have to sit with some stranger you invited. I have a wife and child, so I don't want to be involved in this shady business.
What? You're going home?
Why would I go to the wedding of a piece of trash like you?
Hold on. I asked your kids to be the ones to hand me the ring and the flowers.
I don't know. It's not my problem. You're not my sister anymore.
Huh? Why? Fine. I don't care anymore as well. I won't let you meet our dad anymore, even if you beg me. Hey, answer the phone! Help me! Come back to the wedding!
What is it? I'm already home. You're supposed to be at your wedding reception, right? Do you have the time to be contacting me like this?
There are bigger problems right now. I need help. This is an absolute mess.
Did something happen?
Dad drank some alcohol and is now having a rampage. He was fine during the wedding ceremony, but he suddenly started going on a rampage and breaking things once he got drunk at the reception. He's breaking chairs and tables. Some of the staff tried to stop him, but no one could get near him. He's even injured several people. Not only that, but Dad brought with him this random woman saying she was my grandmother. I don't know whether she's mentally ill or something, but she pooed her pants in the middle of the room. This is a mess.
I see. That does sound like a mess.
Why are you saying that as if you have nothing to do with it? It's really a mess over here. All of my friends and colleagues left already. My fiancé and his parents are asking me what's going on, but I don't know what's going on either.
What do you mean, as if I had nothing to do with it? You cut ties with me, right? And so now I'm a stranger who has nothing to do with it.
What?
You told me that yourself, right? That I'm not your father?
Yeah, I did say that, but shouldn't you still help me at times like this?
Well, that seems awfully convenient. Do something about these relatives of yours yourself. I'm pretty sure that man isn't your dad, though, but he is your relative.
What?
You were too young at the time to remember, but you and James's real father died more than 20 years ago.
Huh? What do you mean?
James was 6 years old, and you were 2 years old at the time, I think. I heard from Alexandra that he died from a car accident. I visited his grave once before I married your mom, too. He's dead, without a doubt.
What? What are you talking about? There's no way what you're saying is true. Then who are those people that are making a mess at my wedding?
I had guessed as to who he might be prior, but I'm sure of it now. I think he's your real dad's brother and mother, which means that they're your uncle and grandmother. To think that he would call himself your father after what happened. What a heartless man.
Which means he's not actually my dad? What do you mean after what happened? What happened?
That man tried to marry Alexandra right after your father died. He was trying to get his hands on your father's inheritance. He didn't listen to what Alexandra said and even divorced his own wife at the time. Apparently, he even bought a sports car thinking he would be able to get your dad's inheritance. It's unbelievable, right? That money was supposed to be spent on you, James, and Alexandra's future.
No way. I can't believe this. He bought a sports car?
Alexandra and you children were able to get away thanks to the help of the wife he divorced. But he followed you for years after that. I heard that you guys had to move 2 times since he kept following you guys. Alexandra says she wasn't even able to visit her late husband's grave, and in the panic, even lost your dad's picture. She said those were tough times.
But
Well, that's it. The man who's currently making a mess at your wedding is not your father, but your uncle, who your mother cut ties with. He didn't even marry Alexandra, but still he calls himself your father. I guess he intends on following you instead now. Your fiancé is the head of a university hospital, right? Getting rid of him is probably going to be really difficult.
huh? What do you mean?
I'm only guessing, but the two of them have a huge amount of debt. The loan he took for his sports car is still unpaid probably. And it seems he doesn't make much money either. Not only that, but his mother has Alzheimer's. Either he barely gets by, or he's already collapsed from the pressure. That's why he came to you and your husband. Because he intends on making you pay for his debt. They'll probably be even more hard to get rid of this time, since he won't let go of an opportunity like this when your husband is rich. He's careless with how he spends his money, so he's probably going to give you two a hard time. Make sure not to let your guard down around him.
Huh? Hold on, this can't be true. There's no way we can take care of the two of them. He's not even my real father.
But aren't you the one who believed what he said and allowed him to come to your wedding? You wouldn't even listen to a word I said, right? Whether you're going to take care of him or run away is your responsibility.
That's impossible. We can't run away now. I already told him where my fiance's parents live, and he even knows the address of our new house. What should I do? Help me, Dad.
You said that I wasn't your dad, right? You said I was a fraud, and to never show myself in front of you again.
No, that was...
I mean, I'm not even related to you by blood. I'm a stranger to you, just like you said. So what if this man isn't actually your dad? He's your uncle, related to you by blood. Why not treat him like he was actually your father?
No, I don't want that. Please, Dad, help me. I was fooled as well. I didn't know that that's who he was. Help me, Dad. Do something about this.
Vivian, I raised you as if you were my real daughter. That was what I had told myself I would do when I married Alexandra. To treat you two like I was your real dad. But I'm only human as well. There's no way I wouldn't get mad or sad when the daughter I had raised up until now suddenly denies everything that I had done for her. And not only that, but insults my wife, her own mother, that I still love. Do you really think that I'm going to help you now just because you told me to? When you haven't even apologized?
That's not what I meant. I'm sorry, Dad. I made a misunderstanding. I was wrong, so forgive me.
It's not something that can just be forgiven like that. Sorry, but you're on your own. I don't want to have anything to do with those people as well. Even if I were to go straight to your wedding, I wouldn't be of much help anyways.
But...
If you ever have trouble shaking off those people, it's fine if you get me involved, but no matter what you do, don't involve your brother and his family. He has young children.
Hold on, Dad. Don't leave me.
That's up to you. Congratulations on your wedding. I'd be glad if you found happiness. After that, Vivian's uncle, who was rampaging in the wedding venue, was subdued by security. Both him and his mother were taken away by the police. Vivian deeply regretted making a mess of her own wedding and apologized to her fiancé and his family, and said that she would delay them getting married until she sorts out her business with her uncle. That, or she would pay an alimony and cancel the marriage. The groom's parents wanted to cancel the marriage, but thanks to Vivian's kind-hearted fiancé, it was decided to only postpone the marriage. I'll skip the details, but after that, Vivian's uncle was tried at court. Apparently, he was guilty on countless other crimes as well, and was sent to prison. His mother was sent to a facility for elderly people, and Vivian never saw her again. Vivian and her fiancé came to me and apologized for what Vivian had done. She said it was fine if I wanted to cut ties with her if I couldn't forgive her for what she had done. But I also felt slightly guilty for not telling her about her uncle earlier, and decided to forgive her if she apologized to her mother at the grave as well. Vivian paid for the wedding all on her own, and even canceled their honeymoon. But after overcoming several hardships, the two got married half a year later. She made up with her brother James as well, and she hosted a dinner party with us as a way of making up for her ruined marriage ceremony. It seems they still have a lot of things to take care of. I'm glad to see that the two are happy. I'm sure Alexandra and her late husband are also watching from heaven, and are glad their children found happiness. After all that, I went back to my peaceful old life of going to work and occasionally playing with my grandchildren who come to visit. My children have already grown up, and I have no intention of remarrying. I think I'm going to save up for my retirement and also maybe get better at my hobby, open sea fishing.